I'm with Steve Keirn, WWE legend, and he had a big award tonight. How do you feel getting this prestigious award from the Cauliflower Alley Club?
Well, when you get an award, the first thing you're supposed to say is you're humbled and you're honored, and those are the words that I would use, but at the same time, it's kind of like it came out of nowhere. When they contacted me, told me they wanted to give me an award for trainer, I've been in this business for 40-something years, and I would have thought I would be more recognizable as a wrestler. Not to say that I don't want to be a trainer, but that's really what I like the most, is the training part. Because that the wrestler was a short-term thing. So when I look back at it, when they called, I said, well, you know, what an honor to be a guy that actually trained people, because people look at you and say, hey, did he ever train you?
That's true.
Right.
Who are some of your favorites that you trained over the years?
I'd say I had a lot of second-generation wrestlers that I worked with. Dusty Rhodes, who later became Gold Dust. I really liked training him because I liked Dusty so much. He was such a close friend. I put a lot of time in with Dusty, but he really wanted to learn really bad. And when somebody wants to learn it really bad, it makes training them easy as like putting a key in the door and turning it and opening it for them.
And Dusty worked with you in FCW too. Any favorite memory of him being so close to him over the years?
Well, you don't have time. I mean, to be honest with you, Dusty was like my big brother. That's what I mean by that was, when you have a big brother, they're not always nice, and they're not always friendly to you. Sometimes they beat you up to make you tough. But the one thing about Dusty's relationship with me was he always protected me. Example, if they said something about all the new talent that was in the WWE, and Dusty said, if you don't mention Steve Keirn's name, you're crazy. He's one of the guys that's helping contribute to that. Somebody like that is really close. Other times, he would make me do something that I really didn't want to do. Maybe a job somewhere. He was a booker. I've worked for him as a booker. I've worked for him in Florida as a booker. He got mad at me all the time. I was always late, and he hated it when you're late. I can remember him writing on a chalkboard one time, be on time or be gone. And I think that was for me. So, great guy. I miss him.
And last question here, between the Fabulous Ones and Skinner, which gimmick did you prefer?
Skinner. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was doing Skinner, all of a sudden, I didn't have to do so much. I mean, like in preparation for going out for the match, all I did was roll around on the floor, put licorice in my mouth, a big glob of water, and go out the door. When it was a Fabulous One, you got to put your suspenders on, the bow tie, you had to comb your hair. It had to be just right. So, preparation. Now, Skinner, what I didn't like about him was I had altered my boots because I had to wear construction boots. I'd been wrestling all my life in regular wrestling boots, and that was what I was comfortable with. But Vince came to me and said, you know what? You wrestle too much. You're a crazy guy out of the Everglades. You don't need to wrestle that much. So I retarded my actual wrestling stuff and actually became more of a character.
And I suppose you got more girls behind the scenes as the Fabulous Ones, both for the gimmick, and you're probably married by the time you were Skinner.
Yeah. My wife likes the Skinner character better. There's no doubt about that.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to us, and congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.